Two Focke-Wulf 190s appeared from the left, fast, precise. Predators. I was still flying my Lag-3, wounded, shuddering, coughing smoke like a dying beast. I squeezed the trigger. Click. Empty. I had nothing left. Just a cockpit. And the sky, they knew. They didn't fire at first. They circled me. Slow. Confident. One of them pointed down. An open field. Enemy territory. They wanted me to land, to surrender. But that wasn't an order. That was mockery. And I was a Soviet pilot. I shook my head. And then they opened fire. The first burst ripped through the wing. The second hit the engine. Flames. Smoke. Heat rising through the floor like the breath of hell itself. The LGG was burning. I pulled the stick. One last time. If I was going down, I would go down on my own terms. The engine started coughing, like a dying beast. Black smoke poured out behind me. I couldn't see a thing, just the damned spiral of those two Focke-Wulfs circling above. Inhale, voice tense. They had me. Hits landed. 1, 2, 3. Shaking the LGG like it was made of paper. Brief pause, urgency rising. I was going down. Nose first. The treetops below growing bigger, sharper. Faster now, voice strained. Smoke filled the cockpit. I was choking, blinded. I pulled back on the stick. Nothing. Nothing. Just the pines. Those endless Russian pines slicing the air around me. Quieter, trembling. The controls were dead. I slammed my elbow against the canopy. Once. Twice. Panic rising. Branches whipped past the wings. I could hear them tearing through the air. And still, the canopy held, beat, then desperate rush. I hit it again, screamed something I don't even remember. And then, finally, it cracked. Pause and breath catches. I shoved it open. The wind hit me like ice. I looked down. Nothing but trees and death. Last line, low intense. I got it open just before the crash, a second later, and I'd be buried in those pines. The canopy gave way, and then everything exploded into motion. The wind roared into the cockpit like a beast. Smoke, branches, splinters, everything was flying. Then, impact. A jolt so violent, it tore me from the seat. I didn't jump. I didn't eject. The lag spat me out, like it was done with me. I tumbled through the air, screaming, twisting, no control, just gravity and fear. My back slammed into a pine, big one. I felt the air leave my lungs, heard something in my body. Break. I don't know how long I was unconscious. Minutes, hours, maybe more. Everything was white, cold, so damn cold. My body refused to move. Pain came in waves. I could barely breathe. Then I felt it. A presence, nearby. Footsteps, a shadow. I wasn't sure. But someone was there, watching, close. Could be the enemy, the Germans. I didn't move, just my hand, slowly, carefully, reaching for the pistol on my belt. Each inch felt like fire in my ribs, but I kept going. I had to. No strength to run, no place to hide, just snow, blood, and steel. I prepared for the worst. I held my breath. My fingers found the grip of the pistol. Cold metal. Familiar. I heard a crunch. Snow shifting. I turned my head, just enough to see. A bear. Huge, covered in frost. Its eyes locked on mine. It roared, deep, guttural, like the earth itself screaming. I didn't think. I didn't hesitate. Survival spoke first. One shot, center mass. Second, higher, near the eye. The roar cut off. It stumbled, snow flying, then silence. My hand was still shaking. My ears rang. I was alive, but I didn't know for how long. The bear lay still. The silence after the shot was louder than the roar. I tried to stand. just enough to get my bearings. But the moment I moved, pain, blinding, my legs burned. I looked down, blood soaked into the snow beneath me. My left boot was twisted, the right one numb. I hadn't even noticed before. The adrenaline, the cold, the fear, they masked it all. But now the pain was real. I must have broken something during the fall, hit a branch, slammed into that damn tree. Standing was no longer an option, but giving up wasn't either. I sat there, bleeding into the snow, legs burning, hands shaking. And yet, I wasn't done. I didn't come all this way to die at the foot of a pine tree. I wasn't going to die here, not like this, not in the middle of nowhere, forgotten, with my blood freezing in the snow. If I had to crawl, claw through every branch and drift, then I'd find my way back to my unit, back to my people, because I'm still breathing. And as long as I breathe, I fight. Let the bastards try to stop me. Night fell like a curtain of ice. Snow kept falling, soft, relentless, covering everything, even me. Pause and sound of breath in cold air. I found a shallow dip between the trees, just enough to shield me from the wind. Barely. I opened my last ration. It was frozen solid. I chewed slowly, like it mattered, like it would keep me alive one more day. I thought of my family, my mother's hands, always warm, always moving, my father's silence, the way he looked at me before I left, and her, the way she smiled, that little scar above her eyebrow. I used to trace it with my thumb, like a superstition. The days blurred together. I stopped counting them. There was no sun, no time, just cold and pain. I crawled when I could, pulled myself forward with whatever strength I had left. No idea where I was, no map, no path. The food ran out on the second day. After that, I chewed on birch bark. Tough, bitter, but it kept my stomach quiet. On the fourth, maybe fifth, I saw movement, a porcupine. Slow, clumsy, unaware of me. I didn't think twice. I aimed and fired. It screamed. I hated that sound. But hunger doesn't care about mercy. I cooked it over a fire made from damp twigs and frozen moss. It tasted like smoke and shame, but it gave me one more day. One more day to keep crawling. One more day not to die. The days kept coming. Hunger turned into a dull ache, then into silence. I stopped feeling it. I moved less, slept more, or blacked out. The cold didn't burn anymore. It just settled. Then one morning or evening, I saw smoke. Faint, distant. My heart jumped. Maybe. Just maybe. I dragged myself toward it. Hours, a day. I don't know. When I arrived, I found nothing living. The snow was blackened. Frozen tracks everywhere. Burnt tanks. Twisted metal still warm beneath the ice. Scorched trees like broken bones. And bodies. Soviet, German, all still. All staring at the same gray sky. So that's what I'd heard days ago. The distant gunfire. The explosions. I wasn't imagining it. But I was late. Too late for help. Too early for death. I had lost track of time. Days. Maybe weeks. The snow, the silence, the cold. They swallowed the hours. Then one morning, I heard something that didn't belong. Laughter. Children's laughter. High-pitched. Joyful. Unreal. For a second, I thought I had died. That this was some cruel joke of the afterlife. But then I saw them. 2 boys, maybe 10, bundled in rags, wide-eyed, paws touched. They didn't scream, just stared at me, then ran. Stronger voice and hope returning.